Some mysteries persist not because we lack clues to unravel them, but because every clue discovered resembles a puzzle piece belonging to a picture that defies all conventional human logic. In the peaceful state of New Jersey during the early 1970s, a harrowing incident shook the entire community, transforming a once prosperous, tranquil town into the epicenter of some of the darkest rumors in the annals of mystery. On September 19, 1972, a chance discovery at the edge of the forest triggered a search operation of unprecedented scale in the area. At the summit of a rugged cliff, bearing a chilling name given by the locals, Devil's Tooth, the remains of a 16-year-old girl were found. Yet what has turned this case into a haunting legend for the past half-century is not merely the girl's death, but the strange, almost surreal structure surrounding her final resting place. Was it a mysterious ritual performed by a fringe cult, the sophisticated handiwork of an anonymous serial predator, or merely a calculated cover-up by local powers intent on preserving the town's reputation? Welcome back to our deep dive into true crime investigations. Today, we go beyond mere storytelling. We will turn the pages of the case file, dissect conflicting testimonies, and embark on a journey to uncover the truth behind the Jeannette DePalma mystery, a case that has remained at a standstill for over 50 years. To understand why fear spread so rapidly, we must look back at the context of Springfield at the time. In the 1970s, the area was known as an affluent, peaceful, and secluded middle-class suburb. Residents shared a deeply ingrained habit. They never locked their doors at night, as crime was a concept entirely foreign to them. Picture the late afternoon of September 19, 1972. Mrs. Grace Treason, a 47-year-old woman living in an apartment complex on Wilson Road, was tidying up her home as she did every day. To let in some fresh air, she opened the door and let her pet dog out into the yard. The complex had a distinctive geographical feature. It bordered a dense forest, a stretch of wilderness that connected directly to the old Howdale quarry. About 30 minutes later, the dog returned. But this time, instead of immediately running into the house, it stood in the yard barking incessantly. Mrs. Treason noticed it was holding a large object in its mouth. Thinking it was merely a large animal bone the dog had dragged back from the wild woods, she stepped closer to take it away. Yet the moment she touched the object, a spine-chilling sensation washed over her. Before her eyes lay a human forearm and right hand in an advanced state of decomposition. Due to weeks of dry weather, the soft tissue had hardened like leather and turned a dark reddish-brown hue. However, a detail that later caught the investigators' attention was the remarkably intact state of the skin and fingernails, which facilitated morphological identification at first glance. In a state of extreme panic, Miss Treason immediately ran into the house and called the Springfield police. Upon receiving the call, the officers on duty were initially skeptical. They even suspected a prank by neighborhood kids using a mannequin arm. Miss Treason was a frequent target of local children who would tease her and throw trash onto her lawn. However, when the first patrol car arrived and the officers approached the object on the grass, that skepticism instantly vanished, replaced by the chilling silence that accompanies a serious crime. The body part discovered on the lawn was quickly cross-referenced with the state's list of missing persons reports. The results pointed investigators to a single name, Jeannette Christine DePalma, a teenager just 16 years old. A particularly distressing detail in the case file is that when her family first reported her missing, authorities dismissed the situation as a case of a rebellious teenager running away from home. A common, erroneous assumption that inadvertently squandered the critical early hours of the search. So, who was Jeannette DePalma? Born on August 3, 1956, she was the sixth of 8 children in a large Italian-American family. Raised in an extremely strict and devout Catholic household, Jeannette was known by friends and teachers alike as a model of religious devotion. She was a regular attendee at services at the Assemblies of God Evangel Church in Elizabeth, and was always full of zeal when sharing her faith with others. After graduating from high school, her greatest dream was to enroll in a Bible college to further her theological studies. Yet beneath the persona of a devout girl, 16-year-old Jeannette stood on the threshold of young adulthood, eager to explore the world beyond her family's embrace. She began associating with new friends outside her church circle, developed a taste for the driving rhythms of rock music, and earned her own money through a part-time job at the Sealfons clothing store in the neighboring town of Summit. This blend of sincere faith and a modern lifestyle inadvertently gave rise to complex social connections that remained hidden from her family. Let us retrace Jeannette's final moments based on the established timeline. On the afternoon of Monday, August 7, 1972, Jeannette left her home on Clearview Road. She told her mother she was catching an afternoon train to visit a friend in Summit. She was dressed in blue jeans and a simple t-shirt, carrying her favorite handbag. However, that fateful journey was never completed. Jeannette never arrived at her friend's house, and by midnight, her whereabouts remained a complete mystery. Her family reported her missing the very next morning. Years after the investigation had stalled, a new witness came forward with a cryptic piece of information. According to their account, on the night of August 7, they saw a young woman closely resembling Jeannette being given a ride by a stranger to the intersection of Springfield and Snyder Avenues. At that deserted crossroads, the young woman got out and walked toward a group of youths waiting in the shadows. Had this lead surfaced earlier, it might have changed the course of the investigation. Coming years later, however, it only served to further complicate the case file. The large-scale search resumed following the discovery of an arm on Miss Treason's lawn. Police units, accompanied by tracking dogs, began sweeping from the edge of the woods, pushing deep into the area of the old Howdale crushed stone and gravel quarry, a desolate stretch of land wedged between the Baltusrol Golf Club and the Watchung Reservation. After hours of navigating treacherous undergrowth, the dogs stopped and barked loudly atop a sheer cliff, a spot known to locals by the haunting name Devil's Tooth. It was here that the remains of Jeannette DePalma were discovered, after lying exposed to the elements for 6 weeks. Yet it was the scene surrounding her body that ignited a wave of debate and panic lasting for decades. According to the first witnesses on the scene, the area around her bore deeply unsettling signs. They described the 16-year-old's remains as lying neatly within a perfect, coffin-shaped outline formed by dead branches and logs that had fallen from the surrounding trees. That was not all. Inside this wooden outline, several small crosses made of crudely bound twigs were also discovered. The combination of the location, known as Devil's Tooth, the coffin-shaped outline, and the religious symbols led onlookers to immediately draw the darkest conclusion. This was no ordinary scene, but the site of a mysterious ritual performed by a cult. Fear rapidly spiraled into mass hysteria. Within just a few days, rumors began to mutate wildly. Many Springfield residents even claimed that Jeannette's remains lay at the center of an inverted pentagram drawn on the ground, surrounded by the carcasses of sacrificed animals hanging from the cliffs. Although the police immediately denied the details regarding the pentagram and animal carcasses, the spread of these stories had already spiraled beyond the authorities' control. To uncover the objective truth, amidst a storm of public speculation, investigators had to rely on scientific forensic findings. Upon analyzing the upper right arm, the limb retrieved by the dog, forensic experts discovered that the tears in the fatty tissue and joint were not caused by sharp instruments like knives or axes, nor by mechanical means. Instead, they resulted from scavenging by wild animals after the victim had already died. The body's exposure atop the cliff for 6 weeks during the summer had attracted scavengers, completely altering the original scene and leading to disastrous misconceptions. As the investigation moved into the phase of in-depth laboratory analysis, Springfield police hoped that biological testing would provide a definitive answer regarding the cause of death. However, the forensic science of 1972 once again proved no match for the ravages of time. Neither Jeannette's clothing nor her remains showed any signs of fractures or trauma caused by external force. There were no bullet wounds or stab wounds. Yet, investigators discovered an unusually high level of lead in her remains, a mysterious chemical clue for which no expert has been able to offer a plausible explanation to this day. In addition to the inconclusive chemical leads, stains on Jeannette's clothing had undergone severe environmental degradation, making it impossible to detect biological traces such as blood or bodily fluids. Approximately 2.5 meters south of where the victim lay, police recovered personal items that had spilled from her handbag. Let us examine the list of items found at the scene to appreciate the major contradictions surrounding the case. Consider this contradiction closely. If this were a typical robbery, why did the perpetrator leave behind all the jewelry, cosmetics, and other items of sentimental value, yet take the wallet, cash, and, most notably, the crucifix necklace Jeannette always wore? Investigators theorize that the religious necklace was taken as a memento after the crime was committed, or that it was deliberately discarded to serve some hidden purpose. The impasse of the case was further exacerbated by the inefficient record-keeping practices of the era. In 1972, the Springfield police lacked modern recording tools or digital storage systems. All documentation was recorded on paper and housed in a basement archive. A tragic blow to the investigation occurred in 1999, when a devastating flash flood, triggered by Superstorm Floyd, swept through the town, inundating the police archives and destroying the majority of the original Jeannette DePalma case files, thereby creating an irreparable void in the information. For nearly 50 years, the story of a cult sacrifice was deeply ingrained in the minds of Springfield's residents, turning the Devil's Tooth Cliff into a forbidden landmark. However, in 2021, when the original crime scene photographs emerged from the shadows of secrecy and were made public, the true nature of events began to come to light. A leading expert on the history of magic and superstition, upon examining this visual evidence, made a statement that completely shattered all previous theories rooted in superstition. The expert pointed out that there were absolutely no signs of occult ritual or deliberately arranged occult symbols at the site where Jeannette was found. Crime scene photos show her simply lying face down in a patch of dense, naturally overgrown brush. The so-called coffin-shaped outline of branches actually consisted of nothing more than rotting logs that had fallen haphazardly from the canopy above. Investigators and witnesses in 1972, living through a period of heightened mass hysteria regarding secretive cults in the United States, had projected patterns and symbols that did not exist onto random natural formations. With the cult theory ruled out, the biggest question remained: who took Jeannette to the top of the cliff? A new twist emerged in 2021 when Richard Cottingham, a notorious serial predator from the 1970s currently serving a life sentence, made a suggestive statement from behind bars. He hinted that he might have abducted and harmed Jeannette while she was hitchhiking on the afternoon of August 7 of that year. This statement was forwarded to the Union County Prosecutor's Office, but to date, authorities have not issued any official confirmation. More than 54 years have passed since that fateful afternoon. The Devil's Teeth Cliff now stands silent and settled with the passage of time. Yet the quest for justice for 16-year-old Jeannette DePalma remains an unfinished journey. The Justice for Jeannette organization has persevered for years, lighting memorial candles with a singular goal: to keep the memory of her from fading into oblivion and to uncover the ultimate answer hidden in the deepest, darkest recesses of this case. The case of Jeannette DePalma serves as a sobering lesson on how human fear and imagination can obscure objective facts during a criminal investigation. Based on your own perspectives and deductions after reviewing this in-depth account, what do you think actually happened to Jeannette atop Devil's Teeth Cliff all those years ago? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below so we can discuss them. If you found this content interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future mystery features. Thank you and see you next time.